Reducing the cognitive load approach. Hi guys, my name's Deepak Shukla, founder at Pearl+Lemon+Sales. We're a sales training and development agency based in the UK as well as the USA and serving clients worldwide. And here today in day number 109 of 119 days of cold calling training, we're here to talk about reducing the cognitive load approach. But before we get into it, feel free to click the link in the description below to get access to 17 additional strategies that are not shared in this training. So look, fundamentally, with reducing the cognitive load, it's the reality that there's going to be some people that you speak to that have got a lot going on. They've got a lot going on and their brain is frazzled, okay? They've got like a lot of things, a lot of inputs, a lot of moving parts. So what that means is that they've got a very low level of focus and a low level of decision-making abilities, depending upon when you catch them, and especially if you catch them at the end of the day, because by then people are exhausted, they're thinking about leaving work, they are not in the mind or mindset to make decisions potentially, and therefore it's going to impact your conversations that you have with them, especially negatively impact the ones where you're trying to explain really complicated stuff. So there's a couple of elements here that we've already been through when it comes to the type of pitches that you're giving. You've got the analytical pitch, the commercial pitch, and the in a nutshell pitch. That's trainings number 92, 93, and 94. But fundamentally, what you need to think about with reducing the cognitive load is just be cognizant, be aware that cognitive load and people getting overwhelmed is really a thing. I have it happen quite often when people talk to me about new idea, layered upon new idea, layered upon new idea. It could be the best thing since sliced bread. It could be transformative to my business, but you need to assess whether someone's in the mindset to listen, okay? So you've got to make a judgment of their actual listening ability. And that's the critical part here, that where is Richard? So with that in mind, it's just important to be aware of this and then therefore adjust the pitch appropriately. So keep the pitch simple when the cognitive load is too high, and keep all of the decisions that they need to make low. So you want them to be engaged in low level complexity even though they're executing high level decision making, okay? So the ways that you can reduce complexity are making the calendar very straightforward in terms of the follow-up, being clear on how you're going to follow up, as well as, of course, the actual elevator pitch itself. The less complicated your elevator pitch is, when someone seems overwhelmed, the better you're going to fare. So you want to drive the complexity down whilst maintaining the level of decision making, which is that they agree to an appointment. And the better that you get at being able to assess someone's cognitive load and assessing whether, whoa, I need to slow down because I don't know whether Richard is getting it. So that's something that, it's important that you're mindful. So be mindful of it and adjust appropriately. So good triggers that you can look to in calls might be, a prospect can be explicit. Look, Deepak, I'm not really following, to be honest with you. They could say that they could be distracted. Deepak, yeah, hello, Richard, yeah, exactly. Put it out of the back, but yeah, what can I do for you, mate? Yeah, exactly. So in that instance, I'm mimicking someone who's mimicking someone who's fundamentally having two conversations at once. So you got two conversations at once. You've got people that just openly say they don't understand, and you've got people that demonstrate that they don't understand by saying, okay, and that could be both suspicion, but it could also be confusion. And you need to be mindful of all of these elements, where they're distracted, where they say they don't understand, where they just seem confused. So suspicious and confused, as well as just seem confused. And there probably are other scenarios that are indicators of someone who's overwhelmed or they're not quite following. And in those moments, you need to reduce their cognitive load by making the complex simple and making the follow-up super simple, so that they're clear on what happens next. So to reiterate, you need to drive down the complexity whilst maintaining the decision-making level, because those two are really a sweet spot for anyone who's being introduced to something that's new. The more complicated it is, but the simpler you can make it, the better you'll do. Okay, if it's simple itself, then that's fantastic. But oftentimes there's a lot of complexity involved, and if you're speaking to the right person, then fantastic. But you could be speaking to the right person at the right time and tell them the right things. But if you don't reduce the cognitive load by organizing the diary, keeping it simple with a follow-up, and not, allowing lag time, then you're definitely going to do better at reducing their cognitive load and thereby increasing their chances of basically turning up to the appointment in the future, or just not sodding the whole thing off.
Remember, we've got 17 gated strategies just waiting for you. All you need to do is bing, subscribe, as well as click the link in the description below to get access to those 17. Get some.